Coming up next, we'll get some insight on the judicial tracks. We'll also hear about the event of the week, known as the Sports Challenge. Good evening and welcome to SSI News on Location. I'm Andrew Thompson.
And I'm Joseph Michkowski. Week 2 means that mock trial and moot court are in session. Noah Kohler has the story.
Thanks, guys. I got a chance to talk to the instructors of the moot court and the mock trial today to see exactly what the students will be working with this week.
Moot court is where students come in and they argue as appellate attorneys, so they are focusing on learning communication skills and trying a case that is shown at the Supreme Court level. They are actually working with a case that has been tried in the Circuit Court of Appeals, and then they are bringing it up for appeal to the Supreme Court, and they will be giving an oral argument presentation in front of a panel of justices at the end of the week. They are arguing an Establishment Clause case, so they will be arguing whether or not a specific school district policy violates the Establishment Clause of the First Amendment to the United States Constitution. In terms of practical training, it's very similar to what a student would encounter in law school in terms of the skills that they're learning and the legal reasoning they're learning. But even for students that are not headed towards a law degree, appellate advocacy gives a broad range of communication and critical thinking skills that will be useful in communicating truth regardless of the station in life they wind up.
These students have 4 days, essentially 4 or 5 days to prepare their case. Let me give you an example. There's a case involving a hockey player who got into something of a fight with another hockey player, and one of them ended up dying. So what the students have to do is, on the prosecution side, prove the case element by element that the murder occurred. And what the defense has to do is demonstrate that no, there's a reason for the jury to doubt one of the elements of the case. It's very practical. It's the way our society settles and resolves issues of violating justice. It's a lot of good hard work and great fun.
Well, that's what those tracks are about. We'll see a little more of that later on in the week on Thursday and Friday when they have their presentations.
Thanks, Noah, for that report. Now for some lighter news, we're moving on to one of the highlights of SSI, the Sports Challenge. Rachel Toby has the story.
Week 1 of SSI, the Sports Challenge was a little untraditional because of thunderstorms, and they had to do it inside. There is a chance that this may happen in week 2 as well, but the SSI staff is hoping that it'll be sunny and back outside and back to normal. I had the opportunity to talk to Zach Weston and Amber Thompson about what we can expect in the Sports Challenge this year.
The purpose of the games is to get everybody out and about. They've been studying their bills, getting a little overwhelmed about things, so we want to get them out, have some fun time outside.
The Sports Challenge is really the highlight of my week personally, because watching students go through the, some would say torturous, but I like to say challenging discipline of playing sports, something that we love to see students as they get wet, or as they fall, as they sometimes walk through dangerous areas, with traps and such. That's the kind of thing we like to see. Week 1 Sports Challenge was a little different because we had some thunderstorms rolling in, so we had to do all the activities indoors. I think kids really enjoyed it. We had a really high level of kids who ended up making it through. We only lost a few. It was a really solid, successful week, and we'd like to have a repeat of that. After lunch, go immediately and get changed into something athletic. You're probably gonna want to have athletic shorts, definitely tennis shoes. Closed-toed shoes are very important, and be sure to drink plenty of water during the challenge.
If we're outside, if the weather's nice, we'll be meeting in the parking lot. If it's rained out, we'll be in the student mall. All students are required to participate. If they have a medical issue, they need to talk to Nurse Chris, and we will consult her on anybody that needs to be exempt from any games.
Check by the SSI office tomorrow afternoon for your team assignments, and be in the parking lot at 1 p.m. Reporting for SSI News on Location, this is Rachel Toby. Back to you.
Thanks, Rachel, for that report. That should be a lot of fun. That wraps up this edition of SSI News on Location. I'm Joseph Michkowski.
And I'm Andrew Thompson. And stay tuned for our Wednesday night broadcast.